So this is the LoopGear SK03 Pro, and today we're going to take a look at it. We're going to unbox this thing, see what it's all about. LoopGear sent me this for free, but rest assured they have no input on my content, so these are my own opinions. This is a first look video. I have no experience with this flashlight, but I do want to open it up and get like kind of an unboxing feel and just first impressions, see what you think. And yeah, so let's do it. Let's jump down to the table and see how we feel. They sent me the Pro model, the SK03 Armor Pro. It's got a little side light thing and some other cool features. Let's open it up. Let's just get straight into it. It came saran wrapped and in a nice little package set up there. Just open her up. Let's get into the actual flashlight as quickly as we can. Oh, come on. Get all that off of there. The box on this thing is definitely something to be reckoned with. Goodness. That is tightly packed. I like it, but it's tightly packed. Okay, so opening this thing up, looks like we've got worm tips, little kind of disclosures and whatnot. It tells you kind of how to take the flashlight apart, some of the features and other things. It's got a little pull tab here. You can open it up and get straight into it. You've got a manual and a little packet here. Fairly simple manual, to be honest. I like that. I like simple. Some of the things with these flashlights, there's like 1,000 different modes. I think this only has 10 modes, but it's got a couple really cool features. It's got like a side LED thing and a couple other things. But the fact that the manual seems to be simple and easy to read, I mean, we're going to find out. So, other things that you get, flashlight. And then inside here, I'm assuming there's some sort of a charging cable or something. Lots of packaging here. Oh, all kinds of stuff in here. Let's dump all that into there. See what we got. Come on. That one. This one. All kinds of stuff comes with this thing. So inside this little deal, you get a bunch of other little, you know, accessories and whatnot. You got a lanyard. The lanyard on these things, I actually saw another video. Oh, look at that. You get a couple extra O-rings, but the lanyard on these things are small, but they have a nice little like rubberized coat. Something good for like a finger to go through or something like that. We'll play with that in just a minute. You got a couple of these barrel filters, which are for the LEDs. You stick those on like that. Somehow, like that, and that covers up your LEDs there. And then USB charging cable. Looks like you've got a screwdriver for something. And then a regular pocket clip. Looks like it's a double-side pocket clip, so you can stick it on your hat if you'd like to. Okay, so from off, you're going to want to actually pay attention to this blue thing because it tells you how to get the dang thing on. One of the things that you don't see with a lot of these flashlights is they come and they're all locked out and everything like that. What LoopGear does is they actually have a little device here that protects the battery so that you're not losing charge during transit and whatnot. You simply unscrew the back. You pull this little piece out, the battery isolator. You pop this guy back on there. I like the fact that they did that actually, because I've had a couple lights come to me on and we're like at the very tail end of their life here. So now well, let's see if it turns on for it. It just turns on. It's not even in lockout. That's great. Turns on. I think it's probably, let's just guess here. I'm not going to read the manual. Yep, cycles through the light modes by holding on. All right, so I've been playing with this thing for a little bit, and it's actually pretty cool. I like it. There's a couple of little things. First of all, you turn it on. You can cycle through the modes. You got low, medium, and high, and it does have memory. So when you shut it off, it comes back to high if you're high, or if you're in low or whatever. So you go to low mode, you shut it off, it comes back. It's got function memory for the light, which is what a lot of lights don't have. I really like the fact that it's got that. You've also got double tap to torch mode. Really bright. It's supposed to be 1,000 lumens. I'm going to have to take this thing out back at night and see if we really get like about 1,000 lumens. But, you know, to me, I mean, it looks pretty bright. Triple click, and it goes to strobe. And then if you hold, it'll cycle through to SOS and also beacon mode. And then there's also a memory on that as well. So the next time you triple click, it goes back to whatever the last mode that you were on. Then if you want to do the side lights here, this is actually one of the things that I really liked about it that I thought was a neat little feature. On the side barrel here, it's got LEDs. There's 3 of them, or 3 sets, so 6 total LEDs. There's 2, 2, and 2. And that's what these little colored covers are all about. You can stick them on the side for different colors. If you want it to be red flashing lights or blue or whatever, you hold down for 5 seconds, 3, 4, 5-ish, and then you got your side barrel. And then, like I said, you can stick your orange or red or blue or whatever color you want on there. I like the fact that these things are relatively tight to get on there, and they have 2 little lips right here that keeps this thing where it should be. So it's got a couple of different modes also. So if you hold down for 5 seconds and then you hold down for 5 more seconds, you get into a different mode. So you go to low. I don't really like the fact that you got to go 5 seconds for it. You got high, and then hold for 5 more seconds, you go to flash. But there's quite a few different modes that you can get through your little side things. I really like the fact that you can use the side barrel as kind of like a lantern or something like that if you were camping. It's a good way to just have the light set up and have a nice little, you know, side barrel type thing. Click it once to shut it back off. Click it one more time, you're back into the normal light thing. You can lock the light out with 8 taps, which is excessive, I think. But, you know, let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to click. No, I didn't get it locked out. See, that's why 8 taps is a lot. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to tell me that it's locked out. Now it's only a button push. So you can button push, but there's no modes. It's just, you just button push to turn on. So that is kind of actually something that I do like, is that if you're the type of person that just uses a light for button pushing, you can go to lockout mode, you can get the back button and just use the light when you want, and then it just doesn't turn on for the rest of the stuff. To unlock it, you got to do 8 more taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you can see, the light flashes with it. And I didn't even get it that time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Now we're back into normal mode where we can turn on and off, cycle through, etc. Overall, pretty cool flashlight with a lot of different modes. But here's the thing that I actually really liked and wanted to check out with this specific flashlight. Other than the fact that it's just a cool flashlight, it has a kind of unconventional clip, I would call it. I think you could probably stick this in your pocket like a normal clip. It's not going to have, it doesn't have very, I mean, it's got a good feel to it, but it's not a solid like something like this clip that would hold you in, but you can stick in your pocket, stick this piece out. But there's 2 really cool functions that I really like about this thing. The first is this little blade piece. Let's skip over here so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So there on the clip, there's a little lock that you rotate, and you can see right there, and you can pop out. It's got a can opener and a little blade. The blade is a relatively thick, probably something good for making, like, you know, cutting cardboard up or opening boxes. And then you got a bottle opener there as well. It's an easy, you kind of like push down, it's a tension hold thing, and then you can lock it. And once you lock it, you can't open it. The other thing that I like about it is that you can twist this as many times as you want, and it doesn't loosen up. It's not a screw. It's actually just kind of like sealed in there, which I really like because it adds to the retention, and the whole lock factor actually works. So they did a really good job on that portion of it. The other thing that I really like about this thing is that it is magnetic. So you can take the light, stick it to anything steel, keep it magnetic. You can even point it, which comes in handy. That's going to come in handy actually for working on my car. So I'm going to stick it there and I'm going to shine it wherever I want. And you can kind of, it's really like pretty diverse on where you can get this thing to point, because you've got, it's a double hinged clip. I don't know if you can actually see this thing. It's got 2 hinge points. You've got a hinge point there and a hinge point here. The whole thing pops together with a little retaining ball, kind of like a socket or a ratchet does. So you can really get it like tucked in close. You can angle it out this way, all the way out really, and then you can angle it also this way too. So tons of like diverse placement ideas. The other cool thing that you can do with this is you can actually set it up if you wanted to be running the light in a certain way. Get this thing nice and set up and balanced, pointed wherever you want, hit the go button and let the thing go. Just kind of a lot of really cool, you know, gadgety type things. In order to pull the plastic piece off, you just got to get your nail under there. Woo! Slippery little suckers. And you can pop on different ones. Just make sure when you're putting the plastic things on, you're putting the tabs up into these spots, like there's little cutouts right there. Stick it on there, rotate it around to wherever you need. Make sure all the tabs lock in. Now you've got blue instead of orange. I don't know which. I think I'll probably do, although they got red and they got gray and they got orange. All kinds of different colors. I like the blue though. Kind of digging that. Probably keep the blue on there for me. Overall, I would say build quality in this thing, I like it. It's all aluminum. I thought this clip was going to be plastic, but it's not. This is also aluminum. It's pretty heavy duty. Given in comparison to my Olight Arc-Filled Pro, the Olight's definitely heavier. You got 3 lights on this one though. As far as brightness is concerned, come on, unlock. There we go. Oops, wrong one. Brightness, they're about the same, to be honest. I carry the Olight with me like every day. It's my favorite light. But this one I'm going to have to carry around with me and see how I feel. Overall, the first impressions on this thing are stellar. It feels like a really solid product. It's I really like the fact that they've integrated the little can opener, bottle, box cutter, blade thing. The only thing I would say is watch that going through like TSA if you're a type of person that carries a flashlight on a plane or anything like that. I like the fact that the lock mechanism actually locks the blade out. And then the magnet, I really like the fact that you can magnetize this thing to stuff. So one big benefit for me has always been a battery thing, right? Like I deal with enclosed batteries, but the SK03 Pro here actually uses a rechargeable, I think this is, what is a 14500, which is the same physical size as AA, but it puts out a little bit more mAh, a little bit more watt hours. It's got a USB-C charger port right there, but if you were in a situation where this thing died and you needed to pop into AA, you could absolutely pop into AA and get a flashlight out of it. There are some features of the thing, like I think the strobe or the side barrel or something like that, that don't work unless you have the rechargeable battery in there. What is it? Yeah, so the micro mode, the barrel mode does not work unless you have the rechargeable battery in there. However, if you just needed to get a flashlight on, you could stick a AA battery in there and get your way through whatever it was that you needed the flashlight for without having to have this rechargeable battery on you if you didn't have one. And the cool thing is it's replaceable. So the entire flashlight doesn't go bad. When the battery goes bad, you can just get a new battery, hypothetically. The other thing that I really like about it is that this clip, or I guess it's a bracket, is actually removable. I think that you just pop it off when you take the back of the flashlight off, and you can pop this thing off over the top of the O-ring, which I just pulled off. Take the O-ring off first, but nonetheless, then you can just screw this back in and swap over to a normal clip if you don't want the big bulky bracket. Now I got to put a new O-ring on, but good thing they included O-rings. Okay, so some final thoughts. Things that I like, things that I don't like, that kind of thing, and things that are just I'm indifferent about. First of all, I really like the build quality. I think the build quality is awesome. I like the amount of modes that it has, and I like the barrel light. I like the fact that you can hold for 5 seconds, and you've got a little light that comes out, and then you just like long hold, and you can switch between beacon and whatever. I like that. I like the fact that that's a feature. What I don't necessarily like is these little plastic pieces. While they are cool, and I like the fact that I can have, you know, a red or blue or an orange or a gray or whatever, they're a little bit clunky to get on. Once they fit, they're in there. But you're kind of married to this unless you want to carry around a bunch of plastic pieces, which I don't. So choose what color you want and then carry that around. It's not really a dislike. It's just something that, you know, it's consideration. The other thing that I do like about it is the fact that it has a replaceable battery. It's got something that's the size of a AA. You can throw a AA in there if you need to in an emergency situation. Get yourself a flashlight if your battery ran out. I also like the fact that it's rechargeable, so you're not constantly going through batteries. I think they did a great job on the overall design of this thing. They've got 2 magnets. There's a magnet in the lock button, a magnet forward, and it's actually a pretty strong magnet. So I think they did a good job there. The multifunctional bracket is exactly what it says, multifunctional. I think it's a really neat idea to have a bottle opener or can opener quasi-blade type thing that pops out that you can lock so it doesn't stab you or anything like that. And I like the fact that you can actually take this multifunctional handle off and put on a normal clip. So there's a lot of ways that you can configure this thing, and I think that overall this is a win. I think LoopGear did a great job on this. I think that it's a small flashlight. It's less than the width of my hand. You can see it's like kind of exactly the width of, and I have normal size hands. I don't like I'm not really a fan of rear button lights, and this is a rear button light. This is what it is. So, you know, there's a couple things that I do and a couple things that I don't like. Overall, I think this is a win, though. Overall, I think this is a pretty stellar, like, multi-function flashlight. You could almost call this like a little multi-tool. You got your, you know, your blade, you got your can opener, you got your magnetic thing. I'm going to use this thing probably mostly, if I'm being honest, for working on my car, because you can stack this thing up underneath your hood and shine your light wherever you want without having to have it hanging off a hat or a headband or anything like that. I love that. That's probably one of the best features of this light, to be honest. Secondary to that is the barrel function. The thing I was most excited about was the barrel function, and I think that is pretty awesome. So overall, if you're looking for a flashlight, all aluminum made, a 1 AA size flashlight with a multifunctional clip that is made out of aluminum, I mean, honestly, it's a pretty good product so far based on my first impressions. So I wouldn't hesitate to recommend you checking one out as well. Anyway, if you like the video, please like, favorite, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube thing. If you like this video, you probably like this one too. That one? This one? I don't know. It's over here somewhere. So check that out, and I'll see you in the next one.